So go ahead and show him now.
Well, with Luna, I want to be able to control her more because she's getting really strong and getting pretty big. So I want her to obey more, to do more of the obey commands like sit, stay,
So you're just after like rock solid recall, rock solid come, rock solid, you say sit or down the first time, they stay there, they don't get up until you release them. That
right, I want to be able to control that. That'd be great, yes.
And in public.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Great.
Not in my dreams, in public.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And the same with Max.
Yeah.
Even though he's, and you can back it up. You don't have to do that. So Max has some sort of spinal issue, so we're going to go real easy on him. And not so many sits, but he's still going to have the recall and come and a down, really solid down stay. So we're going to do that.
Great.
Okay, thanks a lot. You always sit, approach the person that you want to introduce Luna to. You don't have that person approach you, even though Luna's a nice dog, has never bitten anybody. She could still jump and knock somebody down if she was really excited, and she's really big and strong. So we have her sit. She stayed in a sit stay. I stepped over, gave him the treat. Now I come back to her. She's waiting for me to pat her chest. See how she's a little bit anticipatory? Really make sure that, so you can tap this leash like this, keep her in a sit stay, really make sure, and you're not restraining her, make sure the leash is loose. Make sure that she really waits until you, with your right hand, pat her chest and say, go. She'll take the treat, come, I'll call her back. Good, we'll just do it 3 times just to show you how we do this. So if she does have any sort of tendency to jump on somebody new, and of course we've done this with a lot of people, so she's a lot calmer now than she was before, but he has the treat on ground level. He's down there to pet her. When she comes there, there's no reason to jump. And if she even seems like she's going to jump, I'm going to call her back to come to me, and she's got a great recall now. So that's the way that you get her out of trouble if she is really excited and she's going to jump on somebody. And of course, I'm talking too much. So she pops up. I'm going to reset her. Just gently pull up. See how to reset her. It's really gentle. It's firm. It's consistent, but it's very gentle. Sit. She's sitting. She's very happy. She wants to go say hi. She's going to get a treat. And then you can always, once you get a feel for doing this the way I'm doing it, you can start adding little other parts of the training, like a sit stay. Walk around, sit stay like that, and then send her over. It just makes the whole exercise a little bit harder for her, but she has to focus more, which makes her calmer overall. She has to do more before she goes over and gets the treat from the person. It's just better for her. Go. Treats, come. Good. Not only does she not want to jump on him or knock him over or whatever, she wants to come running right back to me. So it's a great way to introduce her to new people. She feels very good about anybody she meets in this way. It's a very structured routine that we've done with a lot of other people. And so anybody coming to your house should bring her out of your house like we did here in the yard. Do the little green routine. Just send her over 3 times, and she'll know immediately, oh, I play this game with people that are great, and it's always a great experience, and everything's safe and everything's fine. So also it really helps curb all that jumping if she was prone to jumping on people before. Okay. I'm going to lead Luna up to the mat, have her sit, pat her chest, and make sure she really waits. Remember, don't do this. Don't restrain her. If there's a tight leash, she's going to lean against it. She's going to pull against it. The tight leash will actually cause her to pull more and to be more overstimulated and less focused. So you always keep it loose, and you're always communicating with the tap. Just like that, tap and release. So it's loose. Your right hand pats your chest and says, go to your mat. You walk over with her and say, down. And we practice this little mat exercise where what I first want you to do is get the delivery down. See how she's a little bit to one side, and her feet are kind of hanging off the mat. You can back her up just by touching, walking directly into her and touching the tops of her her paws with your foot. You're not stepping on them, you're not causing pain, but it's a very dominant move. You're walking into her, she's backing up. I'm just touching the tops of her paws like that and she backs up. So that's much better right there. I'm not going to worry about her not being in the very center of the mat. This is good enough for our purposes. And then we can reward her. See how I'm setting the reward on the mat. She waits. Good. You say good when she takes it. She needs to respectfully, calmly wait until you place the reward on the mat and withdraw, and then she takes it, and you say good when she takes it. Good. So once you have that down, start doing little things like walking around her. By the way, whatever you practice on this mat, she will do without the mat, and you'll see this in the out in public clips of this video. The way that I taught her those solid down stays and sit stays, because I started doing this mat exercise the first day she came. So using this mat in this way gives them a really solid down stay anywhere later on. Good. So I walked around her a couple of times. Here's another thing you can practice. If you think you're going to do something that's difficult for her to handle, it's okay to remind her what to keep doing before you do it. So I'm going to remind her down. See how I'm pulling on the leash? Good. See how no matter what I do, I always reward her in the same way. It's always calm. I mean, I could run around or walk around really fast or make quick movements or something like that, and then reward her calmly. No, see, she got a little bit too close to my hand. Good. So you want to practice doing ever increasing levels of, distracting things that might make her pop up. Never go from this to something really extreme. Work your way up to that. Like I'm working up now, and you might have to stand this way so that this doesn't get in your way, so you can film me going out there. Let's see how she can handle this. This is a biggie. Nope. But what I didn't do is I didn't remind her to stay there. So I said no, and she went back. I'm going to remind her down. Stepping out this gate. Going to disappear onto the street. Nope. See how she made a mistake? And I've actually not really practiced this specific thing with her much. So we're going to show you in this clip how to fix a problem. So she's obviously not practiced at this one distraction. Notice how I said no and I just put her back. You want to say the DOWN command as little as possible. She needs to know the first time you said it when you start this exercise. That needs to hold for the whole 5 minutes that you do this, or whatever amount of time you're doing it. And to remind her, if you're going to do something difficult, it's down, and we try it again. So she popped up last time because I went through this gate and I went like this. Nope. See how I said no and she went back? So see how she's not making a mistake now? Guess what? I go back, give her a double reward because she made a mistake and now she's been successful, but still rewarding her. Good, in a really calm way. Big piece. Double what I normally would give her. So now let's continue. Down, because this is even harder. I go through the gate and disappear out on the street and I'm gone. So let's see how she handles that. Down. So I heard that she got up. Nope. Stay calm. There's no corrections. You stay calm. You stay focused. You just put her back. Lead her back onto the middle of the mat there. Stand on the leash. All I said was, if I wasn't talking to you, all I would have said was, no. Calmly put her back. Try it again. Opening that second gate. This was where she was popping up before. So since we had to break this down into sections of an exercise. Good. I'm coming back every time I'm able to do what made her pop up before, and she stays down. Then I come back, reward her, and we'll move on to the next step. Down. First gate's cool now. Opening the second gate. Now here's where I disappear. I'm going to remind her here. Down. The problem we're running into with this exercise is that once I disappear on the street, she pops up every time. So I'm going to add this to the equation, a little bit of food. Good. To desensitize her to me going out here. Down. So that's good. We got that far now. Good. Down. So this is as far as we've gotten, is getting her to stay there, going through the first gate, opening the second, and I'm almost disappearing, but not quite. And you're going to see how we transition to the next step by just kind of stopping on that point. Good. Rewarding the success and just moving forward a little bit more at a time. Down. Opening this gate. So she's cool with this so far. One more time coming over there to reward her. Good. Now I'm going to step out. Down. And stepping back. Good. Reward that. So you see how we have to do just a little bit more at a time. Get her to have little tiny successes. Good. Now let's try going all the way. Down. Stay here for a second. Do this. She's used to this now. Step out all the way. Out here now for a good 5 seconds. Good. Come back, reward her. Big reward. Good. This kind of stuff, finding an issue where she can't possibly stay down. She just makes all these mistakes, and then working on her to where she can handle it, she stays down. Overall, it's what makes her calmer in all situations. If you always have like one issue like this that you're working on, that's exactly how to work on it, chip away at it. We did all this within about 6 or 8 minutes here. You see how she goes from making a mistake to not making a mistake. And then you always end on a success. So I'm standing back next to her, gonna pat my leg and say, okay. Lead her off the mat, have her sit, and then release her to be free by patting her chest and say, go. Sit. We only say the command once. Stay is built into sit, so you don't have to say stay. I've never used stay with her. I just taught her to sit, and then I taught her to stay seated longer and longer and longer so that I could eventually walk around her both ways like this. If you're going to reward her, it's a nice little success there. Go back next to her. Put the reward by your face. Make sure you're getting eye contact straight down. Good. She's literally looking at me in the eyes as she receives the reward. I know it seems like a small thing. It's very subtle, but it's a very dominant type of thing to do, and it creates a better connection between you and the dog. Far better than doing this, where she eats out of the hand that somehow is connected to you. The eye contact is really important. If you were to say SIT and she didn't do it, you never repeat the command. Just apply a little bit of pressure. Don't pop, jerk, hang. A little bit of continuous pressure, her butt will hit the ground, you release it. For some reason, she's really agitated and you need her to sit for some reason, continue that tension. Take the leash with your right hand and then gently but firmly ease her butt down with your left. But only saying the command once, because all she knows is that she heard it once and she ended up going there. And then she knows to stay, even though we don't use the command stay. And if you're in a fenced yard like this, you can even walk farther away, do big wider circles, whatever you want to do. There's all kinds of things you can do in your house, in your yard, to practice having a better sit stay. But if she has a great success like that, come back next to her. Good. The way that you release her out of a sit stay to be free is she's on your left, of course, with your right hand. Make sure she really waits. So kind of pause down there, see, flat hand, go. Release her to be free. There you go. You want to have that calm release because she's hyper enough as it is, and if you're releasing her in a jerky kind of hyper way and you say, you know, like an overexcited okay like that or something like that, it's not gonna help you. She's gonna not be calm all of a sudden again, and you sort of blew your whole sit stay because you released her in an excited way. Just try to release her calmly so that she keeps some of that calmness, a little bit more of that calmness of that sit stay every time, and that's, you know, you build that up in her, and she starts to become calmer 24/7 because of how you release her out of these sit stays and down stays. Okay. When I'm practicing the come command with Luna, I always have the leash on my left hand. I use my right hand for the target, and I've been teaching her, or the way I did teach her was having a reward in my right hand, always having a target, a closed hand, because of course we're phasing the food out, and all of this training is meant to be done without treat rewards over time, and we're trying to phase food out for almost everything within 5 weeks or so, which makes the training stronger if you do that. But you want to call her to this because when there's no treat in there, she's not going to know. And if she's off leash, if she's, you know, you don't have a treat, she's running out in the street or running away, pretend like you have it, do the same moves I'm about to show you, and she's going to come running back to you. So she should be free. Go, you're free. She just decided to sit there. If she won't stop paying attention to you, which she tends to do, like she's just all about you and doing more training, you hold the reward in your palm, but I have a little distraction that I'm going to toss, because you always want to practice calling her away from something, not staring at you. That's not a real life situation. She's not going to be staring up at you, you know, like this when you need her to come to you. She's going to probably be running away from you or paying attention to something else. So you toss this. When you practice, you have to somehow create that scenario. Go. She's going to go get it. Come. Good. So you saw that I called her away. I let her get the treat, but she still was facing away from me and munching out on that treat. And what sometimes happens is that it's really not about the treats anymore. She's plenty hungry. She hasn't been fed yet today. It's just all about you, and it has nothing to do with the food anymore. And you can throw a treat. She sees it, go, and she just wants to pay attention to you. See how that works? So, but oh, she wants water, so we'll call her away from that and let her have a little water first. I'm going to call her away from it, then let her go back. Come! Call her this way. Good. See how I call her to my target hand? Her nose touched it, it opened, she got the reward at that same moment. I grabbed the leash. She doesn't have a leash. Hook your hand under this big, thick red collar here. And just make sure that whenever she comes to you, you either grab the leash or hook your hand under her collar, because you don't want her to get used to coming when called, grabbing the treat, then running off again, which so many dogs do. So I called her away from that water. Let's let her have some more water. Come on. And I'll call her away again. But you notice that when I called her to come, I backed away. When you back away, it draws the dog to you, makes them rush to you. When you stand still, it's not half as good, and if you move towards her, she's probably going to run away from you. If she won't respond to a little reward treat thrown and go chase that, then just at least wait until, if you're practicing this in your home or your yard, wait until she looks away from you. Come. Back away. You want to stay in the camera's view. Back away. Good. Always do it that way because you back away when you practice with a reward so that when you don't have a reward and you can't back away, she rushes to you. So whenever you practice, make sure that you do it in a way that makes her rush to you. You have something waiting for her, and then in an emergency, you won't need any of that. She'll just come to this, and even if your back is to a wall or something, she's going to rush to you because of the way you practiced. Okay. Okay, sit. Okay, we're having her sit before we leave. This is a tough one because she loves going out for walks, but this is the gate that she doesn't go through unless she sits and waits. You notice that I stepped through first. She waited till I came back to get her. I'm going to say, okay, and she walks with me, not pulling. And if she starts to pull you again, you might even have to do what I just did, which is you literally stop at the threshold and just do a little tap like that. Make sure that she's not pulling you through anymore. And see how excited she is, looking around for people and other things. So we always start the walk like this, and then I always have her sit at the curb as well. And do a little sit stay at the curb, because I want to start the walk out like this every time where she has to be calm, because I start her off on my terms, thinking, you know, doing the structured training, sitting and waiting at all boundaries. Okay, now we're going to go across the street. And if she tends to pull you across the street, you might have to slow down like I have. And make sure that the leash is loose, though, that you're not restraining her. You might have to slow down and tap her like that once or twice. It should be over there. And then on the other side, it's sit, and then release her to be free here. This is where the walk actually starts. Go. Now she's free to start the walk. And if you do that, the walk will just be a lot more, a lot calmer, a lot less pulling. I had her sit and wait at the front door as well. So we had the front door, we had the gate, we had the curb, and then we crossed the street in training mode where she didn't pull. And then finally we release her. It takes about 2 minutes to go from inside my house to out here. Come. And then if she sees anything, you just practice calling her back to you. That draws her away from any distraction out on the street. She can't pull. She's not going to be pulling if she turns around, moves away from it, and comes towards you. And if you practice that recall a lot, come out here like that. Good girl. You see the dogs just start naturally not pulling as much and kind of hovering around closer to you anyway, because you can call them to come to you any second. And after a few weeks of that, which is what she's had here, the pulling is almost non-existent. And that's from how we start the walk and also practicing the recall. Come! She thinks she sees something, whatever it is, I call her back to come to me. So that's what you want to do. If you want the pulling to be way less at your house, you should handle her exactly like this on your street. And when you take her out the same way I took her out at my house. Okay. Dog. Well, there's another dog on a leash being walked, and Luna sees that dog. Come. Good. Come. Good. Okay. And we have another dog we met on the street. Come. I'm practicing calling her way. Good. She's very interested on everything, about everything on the street. Look. Come. Good girl. So if we meet another dog or a person's walking towards us, I just call her away. And she's been pretty good. You can see she's not pulling. The key to having her not pull, and I guess you guys can take off. The key to having her not pull is the way you handle the leash. You're always having it loose, and then if she starts to go to the end of it, you tap it and release it like that. If you choke up, if you're restraining her, if you anticipate that she might pull and you start to walk like this, she's going to pull times 10 because of the tight leash. So she's pulling more because of the tension on the leash. So we don't use tension on the leash at all. If she goes to the end of the leash, like I said, you tap it. But see, after these few weeks of practicing with her, because of the way I've been handling her, handling the leash out in public, she rarely pulls anymore. And also, I also have come. I can use the come command, good girl, to call her back to me as well. And of course, if she's coming back to me, there's no pulling. Come. She gets really used to doing that. If she doesn't come right away, see how I just tapped it? Good. See how I'm calling her to me. Come. That right-hand target. There's somebody came out of their apartment over there. Come here. Come on, sweetie. Good. I never repeat the command, even if she doesn't come right away. So she's looking at that person. Come. Always make sure it works. Come on. Sit. We're walking Max up to the new person he's going to be introduced to, stepping away from him, giving her a little treat to give him. He waits till I come back next to him. With my right hand, I'm going to pat his chest and say, go say hi. He's going to get the treat. She's going to pet him with her other hand. I'm going to say, come. Good. Sometimes he'll step over the leash, get tangled up or something. If you're in the house, or if you're sit in your driveway, which is pretty safe, you can drop the leash as he comes over to you, grab it by his collar, and just take it up again instead of trying to get it untangled from all of his legs. So, doing it again, I'm going to throw in a little sit stay just to make it a little bit harder for Maximus. And he's waiting to go receive the gift from the new person. Pat his chest. Go say hi. Gets petted with the other hand. I say, come. Good. Step into him. See, if you want to add this too, this little circle, sit, and have him sit at the end of that circle. It's just a good move to reset him with that stepping into him and then having him sit at the end of that circle. And also, there's a treat for you, and also doing the walk around sit stay before you send him over. You got a sit stay, you got the go command, you've got the come command. You've got almost all of, at least 2/3 of the training in this one exercise, meeting somebody new, being respectful, not jumping, having a good impression with somebody new. Every time we do this, it just gives them a much better impression of meeting somebody new. He's waiting to be released. Go say hi. One last time. Come. Good. And there's your greeting routine. Okay. Sit. Have him sit. Walk him up to the mat. Have him sit in front of the mat. And pat his chest and say, go to your mat. Walk over with him and say, down. And then we're just going to do this little exercise with him for a couple of minutes. Make sure that you always calmly reward him. See how he's waiting? Good. Make sure he waits until you withdraw from the mat. You can practice your little walk around downstays. Whatever he does on the mat, he can do just anywhere else, but he learned on the mat. So this mat is really a good little thing to do. You can also do the two dogs side by side as well, but one person per dog, of course. Nope. If he gets too close to your hand, pull back and say nope. Good. See how he's really waiting? Pause down there for a few seconds. Make sure he's really waiting for you. We'll do that one more time. Good. If you're in a yard or a house, you can drop the leash and walk farther away. I'm going to do a big giant circle around him. And of course, you can practice with a million different distractions, opening doors, closing doors, dropping things, making sounds. You find something that he's not good with, which we're going to do in a second. Good, and then you work through that, and he's better. For every distraction that he can't handle, stay down, while you're doing it, and you get him past that, he gets better with everything. So this is something that he had a problem with for a long time. I'm going to remind him, down, and I'm going to pull on a leash. No. And a lot of dogs have this issue, so I walk back next to him or in front of him, put him back. I just said no, and I stepped on a leash and put him back. I'll remind him again, down. No. This time I'm going to step into him, reset him, put him more in the center of the mat. So most dogs come to me, and of course they've been pulled around a lot by people. So if you pull on their leash, they'll come to you. So this is one of the things I work with a lot of dogs. Down. Got a little success there. Good. Try it again, down. Pulling even harder. Nope. Pulling even harder. So when you reset him, see how I stepped into him and did a circle, used my body to kind of herd him, literally herd him in the circle, reset him. That kind of is like a refresh for their brain. You turn them away from their mistake and they have a better chance of having success next time. Pulling a lot harder now. Nope. Putting him back. Try it again. Down. Good. Down. No. No. Down. Good. Good. Down. No, make sure he doesn't touch your hand. Good. Down. Pulled much harder on the last time. Good, bigger reward because that was 3 times in a row. So you saw how we got over that issue. I kept resetting him, putting him back, putting him back. When he had a success, I rewarded him. When he made a mistake, I reset him, put him back, no reward. And we got our 3 times in a row. And now we're going to end the exercise. I come back next to him, pat my leg and say, okay, lead him off the mat, have him sit. And then I release him to be free, patting his chest and say, go. So you're always going to pick up this mat too because they're going to want to go and hang out on it. It's not a doggy bed. It's a very exclusive spot. It's only for this exercise. Their doggy beds are free time places. They can come and go as they please. This is only for this one exercise. You put it down, you go get him, you do it exactly the way I showed you just now. You take him off, you pick it up. He's only going on there with your permission. He's only coming off with your permission. And it's a very specific, it's only a very specific behavior that he practices on the mat. He never is able to walk across it, hang out on it, or do anything like that. It's just strictly for work. And that's what makes this exercise more powerful, and doing it this way will develop a much better downstay. Okay. And I'm practicing the come command, left hand leash, right hand reward. We'll toss a little distraction for him here. Oh, he's distracted now. Come. So you back away. Good. He comes to your right hand target. You've got the reward in your right hand. His nose touches it. You open your hand, give him the reward. The same moment saying good. I grab the leash. Everything happens simultaneously. We'll try it again. Go. So he's going to chase that over there. Come. He's going to run back to me. Good. Everything happens at once. You can also do this. Go. Come. Good, and you can pet him. Good, like that. And then you'll see that, well, even now I'll do it a couple times without a reward. No reward, just pretend like you have it. He'll always come to this target. I'm gonna throw a little distraction, go. No treats, come. He doesn't know that it's empty. See, he'll go wherever I go. I can lure him anywhere. Good, and I love him up. And in an emergency, in public, or whenever you really want him to come to you. You don't have a leash, you don't have a treat. Just pretend like you have one and he's going to come do it. I probably called him back to me hundreds of times at this point, and he has no idea why. He sees this and you back away. He has to run to you. So it's really important. Always back away when you're practicing. If for some reason he doesn't come to you, you never repeat a command. As you can see throughout the video, you never repeat any command. And with this one, if he doesn't respond right away, it's just a tap and backing away. He'll see you. Good. He'll be drawn to you. But if he doesn't come immediately with the first command, you never repeat a command. Just reinforce that first command, tap and back away. Never drag him in with a continuous tension on the leash. That's not good. That causes stress and you're forcing him to come to you. But if you tap and back away, he's making the choice. You're just kind of giving him a hint to come your way. Good boy. So that's why you're never having continuous tension. You're always just tapping and backing away, and that draws him to you. Okay, let's go this way. Okay. Sit. Eye contact. Good. Reward him straight down. Eye contact. Not like this, but straight down. You don't have to bend over or do this. None of that. He'll look your way. Just do this. Good. He's literally staring at me as he gets the treats. Really important to do it that way. Stay is built into sit, so if you step away, nope. You're going to reset him if he makes a mistake. You just say no, do your left circle, reset him. Sit means that he stays until he's released. He's a little bit uncomfortable, so I haven't practiced long sit stays because he has some sort of old injury in his rear end somewhere, so we're going really easy on the sit stays, but for short periods of time, good. A down stay is much better to practice with him because he's more comfortable in a down, and to release him, pat his chest, go, and he's free. Good boy. Sit. It's Maximus' turn to go for a walk. We're having him sit at this gate here. I already did the same thing in my front door. Sits, waits, step in, step out, step in this case. Okay, he walks through with me without pulling. I'm gonna do a little left turn here, close the gate. You're always turning left. And he's very excited to come out on the street. There's a lot of activity, a lot of people are out here. And then, of course, we come to this curb, sit. See if he's pulling away. See how he's kind of pulling away? Just reset him by stepping into him and doing a left turn. It brings him right back next to you. Don't ever drag him back to you. If he's pulling away from you, let's pretend he's pulling away like this. Let's say you're walking him. Don't ever restrain him. Okay, step into him, reset him like that, and he'll end up right next to you again. Sit. And then we have somebody walking behind the camera person too. So that's what he's interested in. But he's got to stay in a sit stay. I'm going to do this little walk around sit stay here, which we always do at this curb. So we already did the boundary training on the way out here, my front door, and also that gate. We do the boundary training here. Okay, we're going to cross the street. If he tries to pull me, I'm just going to tap him a little bit. He has no special collar, no training collar. It's just tapping like that. He's very interested in the people walking around here. But if I'm walking slow, he slows down, and then we come to the other side of the street and we have him sit and make sure that he's calm here. You can sort of see that people are loading up things in their cars around here. I guess you can see that over there, right? Go. Now we start the walk. Start the walk on a calm note. And if he starts to pull, just give it a little tap. He's probably going to come your way like that. See how it's really easy. There's no force in it at all. It's just a signal that he's gotten used to. I can also say, come, and have him come back to me. Good. That always works well. If you're having any kind of issue, let's say that you're on a walk, he's super overstimulated, really excited on that particular day, he keeps trying to pull you, just call him back to come to you like 3, 4, 5 times in a row, and he'll be in this mode again. Actually, I just had to call him once. Good. If he starts paying attention to you like that, then just give him a nice handful of treats. Come. Good. I'm just gonna, before I start to walk, I'm just gonna call him back away from that. Come, because there's people behind the camera person. Good. Get him on the right track here. Come. Good. And then you'll see when we start to walk, he's not gonna be pulling. Come. You're constantly drawing him back to you, away from whatever distractions are on the street. Come. And it's just a pattern. All he knows, and it's been weeks now, 3 weeks since we've been practicing this. Come. Every day, all he knows is that he hears that command. It's like a reflex. He's going to come back. It really serves to draw him next to you and to kind of keep him there over time. He just, because of the pattern of he knows that you could call him back anytime, he tends to just stay closer to you anyway, therefore there can't be pulling because he's kind of staying in the zone just normally. So we're just going to walk this way. Start the walk. If he goes out ahead of me, I just tap very lightly on the leash so he's not pulling. If he tries to pull me, and this is what you should do. If he's pulling you, he tries to pull you, he's really excited, he sees a bunch of people on the street, whatever, you stop walking and just do a little tap like that and keep following me. Let him sniff, pee, whatever. Come. He tries to pull you. We have a bunch of dogs right there. So this is a neighborhood with a lot of distractions, but that makes it good for our practicing. So see how he's really excited, but if I tap the leash, come, and I call him to come to me, keeps drawing him back to me. Come. We're going to stay right here because this is really hard for him because of all this going on here, right on the other side of this wall here. Come. I'm going to keep us facing the camera. Good. See how I'm doing this? There's going to be another dog there that he's going to see in a second. Good boy. Come. Good. He was really surprised by that dog. Come. Good. Come. See, the initial surprise, he was feeling like, oh, I got to go over there, and then all I had to do was call him away. Come. Like this is I think the 5th time I called him, and now he's next to me not pulling. Come. And he's kind of in the zone, and we don't have a problem anymore. So the best thing to do is to maybe call him back to you before he gets surprised by the dog. I made that happen. I wanted you to see how he would be on the spur of the moment, and if he was surprised by a dog coming around a corner or something. But still, if you do it that way, you'll get over that distraction really quickly. Come. Good.